Hi guys, welcome to another video. My name is Becca if you don't know me, and if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe. All of my social media platforms will be listed below. You can find me on Instagram, but go ahead and subscribe here first and then watch the video, then go ahead and check that out afterwards. But today we are going to be playing with clay. I have the Crayola air dry clay right here. It's just plain white color. I got this at Target for like $5 and it comes in a pretty big tub. So it's super easy to use, not that messy. It dries within like 1 to 2 days, so not bad. I'm going to be showing you guys 3 different things you can make with this clay for your home. So you can use any of these at home, make them cute, get creative. But yeah, they're super easy. I promise you, you guys can make them because if I can, you guys can definitely do it. So with all that being said, I guess we can just go ahead and get into the video. Alright guys, so for our first craft, we're going to be doing a ring dish. So I just got the Crayola clay. And I'm gonna be rolling it out into a giant circle, obviously like I'm doing right there. You wanna make sure it's a decent size for like a smaller bowl. You're gonna cut out a circle. I just used my circle stencil thing, whatever. If you have a small bowl, you can also just use the rim of the bowl and make like an outline with that. But you're just gonna make a circle outline and cut it out. It's pretty simple. We're just gonna peel off all the excess clay on the sides, smooth it out, and then you're going to have to peel the clay off of the tin foil. I just used tin foil because I didn't want to put the clay on my cutting board. That's the only cutting board I have, so I just use tin foil, but it kind of sticks a little bit to tin foil, so if you have a surface that you can put it on other than tin foil, it'd probably be better, but it's not bad, it's manageable. And after you take it off, it might be a little rough, but don't worry about that, we'll fix that later. You're just gonna stick it into the bowl and press it so that it molds to the bowl, and yeah. I know you see those kind of ugly little marks in there, but I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a bowl of water and grab a sponge, and you just dip the sponge inside the water, not the rough side, but you're just gonna wipe it because that'll end up smoothing out the clay and making it look nice. And if you want to cut your sponge to make it smaller, it'll be way easier to actually spread the clay. And next up, this is after a day of drying, maybe a day and a half. The bowl looks a little bit smoother, it looks nice, and it's ready to be sanded. We're going to be sanding down all of the rough edges. You can sand it down however much you want, and you can make it as smooth as you want. You can also sand the inside of the bowl. I didn't do that because I'm going to paint it and I kind of wanted it to be like a rough look, but now I'm just going to be painting it with my favorite color. I'm going to be painting the whole bowl with this color, and it actually paints so easily. I'm using acrylic paint if you're wondering, just normal everyday acrylic paint. And I'm just going to paint the whole bowl, and I'm going to paint the sides as well, but you'll see that when I flip it over, the sides kind of come off a little bit, but that's completely fine. We don't need to worry about that right now. So we'll just paint it all and obviously let it dry. Doesn't take that long to dry, but just let the whole thing dry. And once it's dry, I chose to paint the rim. So you'll see that around the bowl, I'm going to be painting it a different color. But I let it dry first, otherwise the colors will probably blend. I just laid it flat, face down, because I would rather the rims be chipped a little bit than like the bottom of the bowl where it's a way bigger spot that comes undone. Anyways, I decided to paint the rim gold. I thought this looked really cute. I kind of looked at it and I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe it's something you'll see at Anthropologie for like 20 bucks, you know? But it's super easy, and the gold will go on kind of transparent at first. It's not going to be that opaque, but the more layers you put on, it will build up. I promise it'll build up over the blue, which is pretty cool. But yep, and that's my bowl. For our second craft, we're going to be making an earring holder. I know this might sound a little bit weird. How am I going to make an earring holder out of clay? This one is probably the most difficult one, I would say, but instead of rolling it into a perfect circle, you're going to roll it kind of into like an oval and then make it into like a cylinder type shape thing and just roll it out to be an oval. And then after you roll it out and it's a good oval, you're going to cut out the same shape that I am. I know you're probably thinking, what the heck, what kind of earring holder is this shape? But maybe you've seen it. I've seen it in stores and I think they're pretty cute. Might not be everybody's style, but when I finished this, I was definitely happy with it. You're just gonna fold it so that there's a bottom base that it's going to be obviously supported by, and I used 3 mini lipsticks to hold up that side of the clay because obviously if I let it free, it was going to fall. You can literally use anything, just find support. I didn't want to use something too heavy because I didn't want to smush the clay, but it's completely fine. I would probably suggest something other than the lipsticks though, because they kept falling off, but it worked. Like, you're just gonna put them there, let it dry, and it'll harden to the point where you can actually remove the lipsticks. But yeah, I would probably just suggest something a little bit like not lipsticks or anything because they fall, but it wasn't bad. So if you have lipsticks, you can totally use them. Next, I am just poking holes. You can use anything. You can totally use a toothpick. I'm just poking holes through the clay. Be very, very careful that you do not break the base from the top part. It can happen. But I just poked the holes, and that's definitely where my earrings are going to be going. I just put the lipsticks back on just so that, because it wasn't completely dry, but it was basically dry. And if you see that line, it's because I broke the clay. I broke it. I totally fixed it though. It's pretty easy to fix. And then after it's completely dry, then you can sand it. Make sure it's completely dry though. And once you sand the edges and you're happy with how the shape is, you can then paint it whatever color you want. I decided to paint it gold so that it kind of matched the rim of the bowl I made. And I also really liked just, it kind of reminded me of metal, I guess you can see. More often I see these earring holders, they're made of metal. But I just wanted to make mine out of clay and it still worked. And for our last clay craft, we are going to be making little picture stands. I know the other two are jewelry, like things you can use your jewelry with, but I just thought this one would be really cute. Maybe you're not a jewelry girl, but everybody takes pictures and they're really cute just to put in your room. And if you want to make these cute picture stands, they're definitely a little accessory to put your pictures on. I'm going to be flattening out the clay, but I'm keeping it really, really thick. You're going to want to keep the clay thick because, as you can see, I'm drawing a heart and I'm going to want the heart to be thick all around. So I'm not going to flatten it out way too much. And then I'm just going to cut the heart out and you'll see how thick the clay is. It's definitely something that can be held up if I lay it down. You can just mold it to however you'll like it. And don't forget, you can always sand it afterwards, so it does not have to be perfect. You can make it perfect, so you have to sand less, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're gonna lay it flat. And I got some wire, and this is what's going to be the part that holds the picture. You're just gonna grab the wire and straighten it out if it was bent, and put it around a pencil. So make sure there's still some wire hanging off the pencil, and you're just gonna wrap the longer end around twice. So you're gonna wrap it around twice, take it off, and then that end that's sticking out, you're gonna wanna wrap that around the base of the wire, like the longer part. Just wrap it around maybe twice or so. Cut the rest of the wire off, the wire that's left there. Cut the rest of that off as close as you can to the base wire. And after that, you're gonna get some other pliers and squeeze it so that it's not poking out. And that is the part that's going to be holding your picture. I'm sure you've seen things like this. They definitely sell them at Urban Outfitters, cute little things, but yep, and you're just gonna stand the heart up. I wanted the heart to be sideways, but you're just gonna stand the heart up like that, and then in the end you'll put a picture in it. You can totally do other shapes too. It doesn't have to be a heart, obviously. You can choose whatever shape you want to cut out, and they'll be super cute. Just make sure that whatever shape you cut out will have a flat base, obviously, or else your picture won't stand. I'm just making another one. This one's bigger than the last one. I thought it'd be cute. And then after that one, I'm gonna make one more, and it's gonna be smaller than both of those. So it's kind of like a three hearts, one going from biggest to smallest. And I just thought that was really cute to give it a little bit more, make it a little bit more unique, I guess you can say, just so that they're not all the same size, and it just makes it a little bit prettier. And then after they're all done, you're gonna let them dry, I'd say for about another day or so. This was after a day and a half, so now that I let them dry, they are ready to be painted. I totally forgot to sand mine down, but don't forget you can sand them down. I probably should have, but I still think they're cute. I would have preferred them sanded down, but it's totally fine. They still stood on my dresser that I put them on, so it was totally no problem. And if you don't even have a sander, you're completely fine. But yeah, I decided to paint my first one like this neon yellow, green, whatever you guys can call it. And then I'm gonna be painting my second one a gold, the gold to tie in with the other, the earring holder and the bowl. And this was my smallest one, I think. Nope, that was my middle one. So the green one was the biggest, the gold one was the middle one. And then I'm going to fold my paper, as you can see right now, whenever I do it. But I fold my paper because I didn't want the other paint to get on this last one. And this last one is the smallest one, and I am going to be painting it teal, again, my favorite color. These were a little bit hard to paint because my hands got so messy. This was like the messiest one, but it's fine. And you're gonna, once you set it down, paint will probably come off, but just let it dry and then paint over it and it'll be totally fine.
It's not easy, easy. Ooh, 'cause you say, don't need
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Bye guys.